Okay, so the Ace of Cups feels like in February, it doesn't, like I said, I'm not surprised. This is your seventh house, you know, Aquarius is your seventh house, and that's relationships. It doesn't just have to be romantic relationships, can be all relationships. That's what Libra is all about, and seventh house is ruled by Libra. Any kind of relationships, how we relate to others. But the Ace of Cups, it's a new beginning, a new emotional cycle that's beginning for you in February. The Ace of Cups for me, it's all those wonderful things, emotional growth. It's a healing energy for me too. Second chances this can speak of. But it's something that brings you great happiness. That's the whole point of this. It's a new cycle that begins, and it begins with great happiness, you know, a great easing of the emotions. We'll see how this plays out in the rest of your spread. So we have Temperance coming up at the heart of your reading. For some of you, it may be, I mean, the kind of the heart of the reading is what the focus is usually on. And Temperance, yes, is the card of patience. It's the card for Sagittarius as well. Some of you might be dealing with a Sagittarian. But there's this sense of keeping the balance, keeping the harmony. And it kind of feels like you've been doing that. So this is not so much, I don't feel like it's advising you that, you know, to carry on doing this. That may be the case for some of you. But overall, the energy that I'm getting, especially if the Ace of Cups is there, because that is the new beginning. Finally feels like that new beginning is coming in. And it's something that you have been waiting for forever. It kind of feels like, you know, you've had to keep balance, do a balancing act. You've had to keep an eye on everything, whatever you've wanted, whatever's been making you happy. It might have even been that you didn't know. You've not known what would make you happy. You've not known how to progress this, how to go forward. That at every turn, whenever you've tried to go forward in this situation, that, you know, there's been some kind of a block. Now, it doesn't have to be overall like, you might have gotten the job, you might have gotten the relationship, whatever it is, you might have, it doesn't mean that you didn't get it, but it could be that you've been asked to go kind of slowly. There's patience that's been required, and you guys are a lot like Aquarius in that we're not very patient people. We like to, you know, fix signs. We're not very known for our patience, right? And that's why I often say when this card comes up, it's not one of my favorite cards, but that's just a personal thing. Now let's have a look at the past energy that comes up here. So we have the Queen of Cups coming up as the foundation of this reading. Now, some of you may be with a water sign, which would be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. If it's not them, it could be someone who takes on the qualities of the Queen of Cups. I mean, if it's not one of those signs, that's what I meant to say. It could be someone who takes on the qualities of those signs. And she's very loving, she's very caring, she's very nurturing. I get the sense, like, look at her, like she has, all of the court cards have cups that they offer out. They offer that cup. It's of love, friendship, whatever you want to call it. They offer it up to someone. Hers is the only cup that's covered because she knows what she has to offer. And she's very careful. She's very diligent about who she offers it to. Now, for some of you, you've been ready to offer your cup of love to someone for a while now, and you've not had anyone that you could offer it to. Now with the Ace of Cups, there's that cup. It's overflowing, right? Now you can offer it. Now you're ready to offer it to someone. Maybe that's what the patience was for, that, you know, you were kind of looking around, trying to keep the balance, trying to get things done, but you weren't sure. You weren't sure who to give the cup to. There wasn't anyone suitable around to offer the cup to. Or for others of you, you have been waiting for this person to give you their cup. And that's the cup that comes through here. This Ace of Cups here. So, I mean, it's a general reading, so the energies can work both ways. But the main thing I'm getting, and Cancer got something similar, like something that you have been waiting for. You know, you've had to have patience. That's the main thing. You've had to have patience. And it could be, for some of you, the Six of Swords, that this is a long distance relationship. Or you might meet someone on a journey. Some of you are going on vacation or taking a trip somewhere, because the Six of Swords can indicate that. That might be where this new beginning comes in, or something that makes you very happy. Now, it doesn't just have to be love and romance. I know we've got the Queen of Cups here and the Ace of Cups, but anything can make us happy, right? Anything can make us feel love. Friends, family members, even our work. And you guys that's how you guys live. You guys live from the heart. So the Six of Swords coming up here, it feels like, it usually says two things to me. One, that, you know, you're moving away from a difficult situation. You're moving away. And the thing is, when we move away from something, we move towards something else, right? So we'll have a look at what you're moving towards in a moment, with the Queen of Pentacles coming up there in the future. Two queens coming up in this reading. But This may also be like closing the distance. If there's been distance between you and someone else, you may be going overseas to work, or, you know, you're closing the gap now. This could literally be you're moving somewhere else. Either it could be like a few streets away. It could be a million miles away from where you live. But, you know, it's that you're closing the distance between where you are and what makes you happy with this new cycle. This is a new opportunity that's coming in for you. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles coming up as a future energy. Now, this may be an earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Or this could be about work. The whole thing with Pentacles is Pentacles represent those things of value in our life that offer us stability and security, the tangible representations of those things. Like, you know, work, finances, money, investment, savings, our houses even. And the Queen of Pentacles, she's very capable and very good at, you know, earning money, creating that security and abundance around herself for those people that she loves. You know, that's why she does it. And she sat she sat below Temperance. So it may be, I'm just going to say this. For some of you, you were in a situation or a relationship. I mean, obviously I've given that scenario before, that this could be someone now ready to offer that cup. But if it feels like there's this situation that before it might have all been about romance or, you know, just emotions or this is solid, this is practical, this is real. There could be two different people. You're now leaving behind this water sign and moving towards an earth sign. So there can be that. Maybe that's you. That's you, that, you know, you were very much in your fields before. You were very much trying to live from your heart. And it feels like you've done that because you're moving towards this. Whatever situation is, you're moving towards a new situation. And you have the Queen of Pentacles there, and it makes you feel very grounded and very solid. Now, for others of you, there may be a choice between two different people. One that's represented by the cups, one that's represented by pentacles. It may be that, you know, one person, there's the balancing act that's going on here. So, you know, that's kind of says something as well. But the Queen of Cups coming, this person may be the one who's gets you going in your fields, that there's nothing else about this person that makes sense to you, but they just make you feel love and romance. This person, they are very stable. They are very financially stable. They have it together. They offer you stability and security. So some of you may have to make a decision between these two people. Why? Because you have the Two of Swords coming up as your advice, as your crowning energy. It says there's something that you don't want to see here. And I think that's why maybe there's a slight pause here, or there has been a pause. Because you're being asked to remove the blindfolds. And, you know, look at what's there so you can make a choice or decision. There's a choice or a decision that needs to be made here. Even with just 6 cards, this can play out in so many different ways. Might be between two people. It might be about, where do you want to go? Where do you want to move? That might be what you're deciding. And that's why you're being asked that. There's some information that you haven't seen yet. That's why you're being asked to consider all areas. Because here the focus is on emotions. Here the focus is on finances and practicality. And maybe Temperance and the Two of Swords is asking you to do balance between that. You can find a way through this, because it feels like there is a new emotional cycle coming in. Maybe what made you happy before isn't what's going to make you happy now. That you're ready to do something differently. Because you're moving away from something, whether that's literally or whether that's just emotionally or mentally. You're ready to go forward. You're ready to go into something new. Right. I've been putting clarifiers for all of the signs, because it started off with not take that because I wasn't really thinking of anything. Pulling clarifiers for each of the signs for one of the cards. I'm going to do it for the Two of Swords for you guys, to see what that decision is or what it's concerning. Okay, it's starting to make a bit more sense now. Right, so what is this decision concerning? And first of all, it's what are you willing to stand for? The Seven of Wands, it's that warrior spirit card. It's what we're willing to fight for, what we're willing to defend, what is ours. You know, it's the ground that we stand on. It does talk about having the high ground. It does talk about a testing time as well. So some of you have been through a testing time. And you're bloody proud of yourself for how you handled it. You're proud of yourself for this. Six of Wands, it's the victory card of success. We can hold our heads up high for how we've gone through this. You have 2 sixes here. Stability, balance that's coming in. It's taken you a lot to get here. You know, it's taken you a lot to achieve this. It's taken you a lot to find that. And that might just be, you know, stability in your life, stability where you are. But there is a choice or decision, and it feels like maybe you're not ready to make that choice or decision because you've fought so hard to get to where you are. But the Four of Swords is telling you you've gone through a time of healing, right? Actually, whenever I see the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords in the same spread, and this has been almost from day one, from when I started reading the tarot, and that's been over 20 years now. Whenever I see those two, this is someone who is getting the hell out of Dodge. You know, this is someone who's, maybe you've already done that, because the clarifiers will indicate why that decision is there. And it may be a situation, not from now. I mean, the Six of Swords in the present, yes, but I'm talking about the combined energy lending a different flavor to the reading. Maybe like from a year ago, from 2 years ago, 10 years ago, some situation that you kind of left. And there's a new cycle that's coming in now with this, right? But it may be that, you know, you're not looking at it because that situation caused you pain, or you've kind of gone through it, and you have gone through it. Seven of Wands, Six of Wands says you've achieved that, you've done that, you've completed that. But it's okay if you want to take a moment with the Four of Swords on its own, if we leave that combined energy for a moment. The Four of Swords says to me that, you know, this is okay. It may be a time of healing that's required, especially if there's a decision that needs to be made. You will make it. You're not afraid to do it. You're not afraid to make that decision. It's just like, no, again, do I have to deal with this now? Like, you know, I've gone through so much. Can I just enjoy this for a moment? Yes, you can. You can enjoy your happiness just for a moment. If something's coming in, if you're just enjoying where you are right now and you don't want to take it that step further just yet, you will do. You will do, but take that moment. Take that moment to reflect. This is, you know, I always find this a temporary break. Sometimes it can be a temporary break in a relationship. Might be some time that we take off work. Like, it could be like recovering from the flu, a spa day. But it's that break that we take to allow new energy in, to heal, to rest, to reflect. It's very meditative. I always find this the minor arcana version of the Hermit card. It's that kind of energy. Very, it's healing in mind, body and spirit. So it feels like that's what's kind of needed. Like, don't force yourself to make that decision. And if it's not you, this could be someone else. Maybe you're dealing with someone else. Maybe you want someone else to make that decision. I'm not really getting that. I feel like it's you, especially with this. But if it is someone else, like, you know, just give them a minute. This is temporary. This is a temporary break. Someone who may have gone off to decide something, they will come back. And these are strong cards. Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, they're very strong cards to get there. Past life relationship. Okay. You have known each other before. So past life relationship, obviously, the name says it all. You could be encountering someone. Maybe this is the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups that's coming up here. I just got the sense that, you know, some of you've already had dealings with a soulmate. That was this person. That's what she represents. She's very intuitive. She's very psychic. Someone that we have a psychic connection to. For others of you, you felt this person coming for a while. And I know a lot of people that have been doing that. You've been dreaming of this person. You've sensed this person. You've known this person. And it kind of feels like now there's movement towards each other with this Six of Swords here. But, you know, with the past life relationship, it can be that, you know, that's the message I was getting. That some of you have been through a soulmate situation before. And you're kind of not prepared to get into one again. I mean, you are prepared, but it's okay to take a moment. Maybe you've been going through this healing situation, and now you're like unsure of, like, do I want to tangle with this kind of stuff again? And it can also be when we think back and think, what was the meaning of that past relationship then? So there can be those kinds of thoughts coming through. Maybe this was something that you fought for in the past. You know, you had victory and success in something in the past, and this is something new that's coming in. For others of you, this is confirmation of the relationship that you're in, that is a past life relationship. And, you know, that's usually when there's karma to play out. And it kind of feels like there's a change. Even if this is the same person, even if this is you, this is someone who's gone from being that romantic to being very practical. So if you're worried that, you know, you're going to get lost in love again, or if the other person is going to be, obviously it plays both ways, you don't have to worry about that, because it feels like there's a new practicality that's coming in. She's very nurturing and caring as well, but in a very practical way. She's very dependable. She's very reliable. Whereas she can sometimes get lost in romantic delusions. Right. Let's have a look at what we have from the Whispers of Love. Act as if your partner is here. Whether you have someone in your life or not, act as if they are with you, so you will always consider them. Now for me, this card usually is that, you know, that whole thing, like I think it was in The Secret and all this law of attraction stuff, they tell you like, oh, have half of your closet empty for your partner to put their stuff there, and buy yourself a double bed and sleep on one side of the bed to make room for your partner. Yes, it can mean that, and for some of you that's going to have some meaning, but in the kind of context of this reading, I'm still getting that sense some of you have been connecting psychically to someone, and now is the chance for you. I mean, maybe you've already been acting like this person is here. It kind of feels like, I know a lot of people that have been connecting psychically with others. There've been these psychic connections. You know, all of that has been happening, and it feels like it goes from that psychic, intuitive realm into the practical. And I kind of feel like this is what that's saying as well, that you know, there's been this sense of maybe they've not physically been there in the pentacle sense. And it doesn't have to even be something like intuitive or psychic stuff. It can just be that maybe they've been at a distance, right? Long distance relationship. They've been away from you. They've been far away from you. And you guys have had to like Skype calls and messages and all that. That's how you've been making the relationship work, because you feel this profound connection. Now it's moving into something real, something tangible. Not to say that, you know, online relationships aren't real, but what I mean is physical, that you can hold, see, touch that person. Not for you. Not for you. And that kind of flew out. Okay, think about it. This makes sense. Now, this is going to be for those people that have to pick one of two people. Because you've got one cup here, she's got one cup here, but there are two court cards that come up here. One person is not for you. And it's almost asking you to decide that. Like, you know, with the Two of Swords, decide which one is not for you. And that's maybe why you need to take a break. So that's what this says, not for you. It's not, this is more about you understanding that in yourself. You understanding. And it may even be that, you know, whatever your options are, you don't want either of them. But it's your choice. It's your choice that, you know, I'll pull another one from the Wisdom of the Oracle to expand on that. Because that's one of those tricky ones, right? Why is not for you then? Okay. Some of you are going to play it by the book, that's why. All right, this makes sense now, especially with those two cards. I'm going to say this to some of you, and it may just be that this is like a message for one person out there, but it's very specific. Some of you may love someone, like really love them, truly be connected to them, have a past life connection with them, all of that kind of stuff. They may be holding space for your other partner to come in, but by the book says you play it by the book. It's very similar to the Hierophant card. It's very similar to the Hierophant card, which is, you know, tradition, rules. Are you following your own rules? Are you following the rules that someone else has dictated to you? And Leo, you guys, you know, usually you'll do what you want, but you know, sometimes all of us can do that. Where we're trying to keep our families happy, we're trying to keep the society happy, and like I said, you guys don't do that. So remember this: if you decide someone is not for you, do it because it's what you truly feel, because you have a connection with someone. There is a connection with someone. But remove the blindfold. Make sure it's your decision. Make sure it's your decision, not someone else's. Make sure it's your book that you're going by, the book that you've written yourself about what you want in your life, not what someone else dictates to you. Let's see what it says. And it says, "Dearest you, on Earth, humans learn about life by telling stories and creating new ones based on shared experiences. Eventually, after repeating one often enough, it becomes your main story that you use to define yourself and the world." This is that by the book card that came up. So to get the answers you seek, you must get vulnerable and hear your story when you tell it. Ask, why do you tell it? Is it really true? What else can be true? Can you see the truth that spirit is in all things? Do you see how other stories overlap and intertwine? Spirit loves stories, for they are like blueprints for co-creation. So tell the one we know to be true about you, a story of courage, gratitude, and honesty. Tell an empowered story about well-being, wisdom, and grace. You will experience your world according to the story you tell about it. So make sure they're stories you're proud of. Genuine, loving fan club. I love that, especially for Leo. there is this kind of, okay, so I don't know if I said this about temperance before. Temperance is about divine timing. So it feels like you've been waiting for divine timing. But it's this card. This is the kind of the main thing that's coming in, I guess. And that kind of card kind of says it as well. Make sure it's your story. It's your book. The one that you've written. The one that you want. You know, you've gone through a lot. And now this is just a door that opens up to us. Aces are... I don't want the light to go in. Aces are the opportunities that we have. They're doors that get presented to us. But we walk through them. And we decide how that cycle is going to play out. So I guess what it's really asking you to do is to rip off that blindfold. This is the only advice that came through. All the other cards are great. You have choices then. Some of you are going to be like, I don't have any choices. If that Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles are not real people in your life, like you don't know them, you're absolutely single, there's no one around you. And remember, this doesn't just have to be about romance. This may be something to do with work. Like, you know, there's someone at work that you feel like you have a psychic connection to, because we can have soulmates everywhere, right? Or someone that you're working with, a business partner. There's some decision, but you must rip off that blindfold. Don't be afraid to have conflict with this person if need be. It might be inner conflict, that, you know, you have inner conflict about the situation. You don't know what to do. But Leos, you'll have to let me know how this plays out, whether it's romance, whatever it is, whatever area of your life this plays out in. You have to let me know by the end of February. I wish you the best of luck.